Good afternoon, everyone. We just got another order up there. We're running a rather high frequency trading robot on the NQ. Been running it since midnight. This is not a back test. This is the actual performance of this strategy. We don't know what it's going to do the balance, but we'll see. This is it right here. And again, it's been running since 6 p.m. Last night. Well, actually, this report is from midnight. So she's in the house with $883.40, profit factor of 1.56, and we're going to let it keep running. We do these YouTube videos to create a little awareness of who we are, who we're about. We're not a broker, we're not a financial advisor. We're not, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, I don't know why is that moving on me. I see what's happening. I've messed up my scaling because I built this after the fact, but that's okay. I see what's going on. Oh, well, I'll leave that there. If you have any questions, this is your opportunity to poke your head in. All the trading that you're seeing up here is being done by a machine. Not trying to give anyone the impression that you can just purchase a machine to trade and print you money, and you can lounge by the pool, go play golf, and not have any trading skill. You have to have trading skill to operate these trading robots, make the necessary adjustments, and we're a mentoring site for helping people to try to do that. You might think of these trading robots like a cruise control or a flight control autopilot for an airplane. But just because the plane has an autopilot doesn't mean you can go out and buy a Cessna and start flying it around. If you do, I wish you the best. Just don't fly over my house. And I'm not going for a ride. That ain't happening. Um, but we're happy to answer any questions. Enjoy. Okay, and just that fast, the machine just took another winning trade. We'll generate a report. There it is. She's running a profit factor since midnight of 1.6. That fast. Hey everyone on YouTube, I'm Bagadon. This is stockmarketcaddy.com. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. We do these periodically live sessions to give you a chance to ask any questions. We're running a, little higher frequency robot than normal. This thing has had how many trades since midnight? We'll show you. She's had 35 trades, so that's quite a few trades. And she's won on 80% of the trades. That isn't as important to us as the profit factor, 1.60. She's making $1.60 for every dollar that we lose, and we are losing some trades, obviously. We're in the house right now with $951. You do need trading skill, acquired trading skill to operate these robots and to understand how they work. And to that end, we invite you to visit the website, ask any questions, and you're always welcome to call. Good afternoon. Again, good afternoon, everyone that might be passing by on YouTube. Any questions that we can answer, don't hesitate. I'm Bagadon. This is Stock Market Caddy. We're running a high frequency program that has traded about, well, 35 to 40 times since midnight. And we're to the good $951, profit factor 1.6. And the winning percentage is close to 80%. That's not that But that isn't that important to us, but I know a lot of people want to know how often does it win? How often, so that's what it's running at. It's running right now better than the model. So we're going to let it keep running. Have any questions on who we are? Bag of John, Bag of John, Bagadon. I'm Bagadon. And if you have any questions, let us know. You're welcome to visit the website. You're welcome to email us any questions. You're welcome to call if you still have questions. We've been doing this a long time. We haven't been doing this for 6 months or 6 years. We've been doing this long before there was Twitter. And we're not about handing out the fish. We're not making recommendations to buy or sell. We're not making any claims that everybody should be doing this or that you should be doing this. For those that have an interest for the markets, those that have a passion, those that want to trade mechanically and robotically, see the rest of the price movement to be just noise, and they just want to move a portion of their money in and out and collect these things called dollars, cash flow. We set out to teach them how to do that. You do need to learn how to trade, though, right? And it is an acquired skill. No problem at all. User 404. And you have any questions, let us know. You're watching this particular tool is called Swing Machine, and we're letting the robot run. All the trades that you see going in and out up here are being done by the machine. It's a futures contract. The amount of capital we're using intraday is about $1,900. So our percentage return, now we use some of that after hours, but during the day, it's only about 1,900. After hours, you got to have about as much as 19,000. So, but during the day, the leverage is very attractive, to say the least. Any questions? Let us know. We trade futures because they are highly liquid. Yes, they are leveraged, but most importantly, they're liquid. We do trade options when we go further out in time. Nice thing about futures is we don't have to deal with the Greeks. Yeah, that's why we don't use percentages. We talk in terms of profit factor. Gross profit divided by gross loss gives us a profit factor. Yeah. Yep. Which means we're making $1.60 for every dollar we lose. We do trade options, but and we do use these tools to trade options, but we don't trade options. We don't set out to trade options real intraday active. It's not to say that we don't take an option trade during the course of a day, but we don't set out to do that. This particular program is the NASDAQ is, the most liquid of all the futures markets. Really, it's just incredible. It's designed to take frequent bites and should keep us, keep us in gear. We're just here to make sure the electric stays up, nothing gets kitty wampus, and we'll just try to stay out of its way. When it comes to trading options, it's really important that a person understand how options are priced. And you can do very, very well with options. It's just that they have to be mapped out. With options, you need to get not just the direction right, you got to get the duration right, you got to get the timing right, you got to get the implied volatility right, and then you've got to structure them correctly. This radar that we have up here is for our intraday trading of futures. We have another radar that we use that is called the Options Club Selector. And based on all of the things that I just mentioned, it will actually tell us what stocks are optimum for a specific option trade setup. And it's very, very good. Yep. Very good. Well, I don't know if it's too many, but but I hear you. I don't have that tool at the handy. We've had some videos on it. I don't have it open at the moment, but there's our tool options have a formula that is public. The guys won the Nobel Economics Prize for the formula. It's amazing how good it is. And once you have that formula, then you can reverse the formula and write the code to give us the the assessment of what we should be doing. If you're we don't use a chart to trade options. It's all math. It when it comes to options, it is all math. Yes. Yeah. Black-Scholes. Yep. In fact, let me go ahead. I'm going to open up the question. I didn't expect this, but that's okay. Let me open up our option tool. It'll take a minute or two for it to populate. Hopefully I don't, and I'll show you what this tool looks like for options. We got a number of other tools as well. So for instance, we did this. If you go back and look last week, we used some of these tools. We actually used all the tools for a Tesla. Tesla was trading at going into earnings, was trading at 294 that afternoon. There are videos on YouTube. If you go, they're not too far back. There's only like, maybe 5 or 6 videos back, and we'll show you that afternoon. We said, well, do we want to go long or do we want to go short? Based on where Swing Machine was with Tesla, it was a fade all the way. And then based on the expected move of Tesla, our machinery told us that the expected move after earnings was going to be 12 points. We went in at the money, sold a September 1 call option at 295, took a portion of that money, went downstream on the Delta, and we sold the call at 295, bought a call at 315 outside the expected move of 12 points. She gapped down 12 points after hours. She went a lot lower, and we put at risk. Our maximum risk was I'm doing this from memory. Our maximum risk was $1,200, $1,250 to be exact, and our maximum gain was $750. And we closed that trade this morning for about 90% of that profit. We didn't look at a chart. We didn't look at anything other than our tools. I'm going to have to step aside. We're going to let you watch. If folks are still there, we'll come back and show you a little bit later. I got to grab a quick lunch. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that. We promised a view. We haven't had any more trades, have we? Nope, nope. It's a high frequency trader. If there are trades there, if there are no trades there, it's not going to trade. So, um, let's give those that have an interest in options a view of a tool that we use, and we call this the Options Club Selector. Bear with me here. And here it comes. Now we're going to try to slide this into view, right? So it's something a little different here. It's a different tool. You can't see it all. We got some markings in here, but let me describe what this is. It is a real-time radar, SMC options, defined risk options, club selector. And what we can do is simply, and here are the stocks. IPG. Now, we're not suggesting anybody take these trades. We're not doing that for that reason, but the tool is telling us these would be the stocks that we might want to express a long interest in, suggest. And it also tells us what would be the best defined risk option to construct. Here, this is just a buy a call. Here, put credit spread, buy call, put credit spread. Over here is the bearish side. So these would be looking to take them in. Here are the stocks. Buy a put debit spread, call credit spread. So this is what we use, and we can scroll down, and there are more opportunities every single day than we have trades for. And this is out 30 to 45 days. Now, there are some management tools that one has to learn, namely, maintaining these things at about the 20th day. And, if you double your money, take your profit and or take half off. If you lose half your premium, half your time, take in the trade. Also, if you want iron condors, and here they are. So these stocks are presenting Amazon, an iron condor. Iron condor is neither bullish nor bearish. It's a neutral strategy in a sideways market. And we get quite a few of those. And there you go. It's a great tool. It keeps us objective, it keeps us consistent, and it keeps us disciplined. We have another tool that we call the Pebble Beach. I should have just stayed put there. This is a wonderful little tool, and it's a trade generator for stocks. You could certainly use it for options. Bear with me, I'll bring this into view. And this is called the SMC Trade Generator Pebble Beach. Here today, take out the label row. So there are 18 trade setups right here, 18, right? Not 17. Here is the profit. So here's the trigger, sell, buy. This was the entry. These are all today. These are all today. So it's profitable in all but 3. Buys and sells, gives you the entry price, gives you the stop, gives you some other maintenance here, and there you have it. Now, whether or not you do that with shares, you do that with options, entirely up to you. It's an excellent tool. Here's iSurge, and for some reason it's not changing for me, but in any case, just as an idea. We're not here to, chat about stocks per se, but we do trade stocks and we do trade options. Okay, and there is our next trade. So this little program since midnight has had how many trades? It has had 35. So this is trade number 36, and we have been profitable in 80%. We've had 35 trades. We've been profitable in 85% of them. That's pretty good. Profit factor 1.6. And that's that trade right up there. We are mechanical and robotic traders and hedgers. and we are a mentoring site. We teach. Now I could intervene and could take that trade if I wanted to grab that $60, but I'm going to let the machine handle it. You do need to learn to, there is a skill set to trading mechanically and robotically. There is. It's just like anything else. We want to build a trade swing, a trading approach that is repeatable, like a golfer would have a repeating golf swing. You may have the money to go out and buy an airplane. Did you hear this? That story last week? It was awful, awful. A physician, a plastic surgeon for Beverly Hills. You hear about this guy? 75 years old. Lived in a multi-million-dollar house on the top of a mountain overlooking, the Pacific Ocean. Just gorgeous. Very successful. Plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. And he goes out and he's a pilot. He's been a pilot a long time. And he's flying. He's got a Cessna twin engine. And he takes off last week or the week before, and one of the engines fails. And he notifies the tower, and the tower says, "Can you make a left-hand turn and head back to the airport?" And what does he say and what does he do? He says, "Yes, I can. I'll attempt that." And what does he do? He turns left. One of the engines had stalled. He rolled the plane over and put it into a house. Fortunately, he didn't kill anybody in the house, but he killed himself. He made a mistake. When you have an engine failure on a twin engine airplane, you do not turn in the direction of the failed engine. You turn in the opposite direction. You turn on the good engine, or you don't turn at all. You simply, bring the plane down, and he had 9 miles of open space in front of him. How could he make such a mistake? He was a pilot. He had millions and millions of dollars in real estate. And he's 75. He made a mistake, a careless mistake. We don't want, when we're trading, I'm going to spend 3 weeks. Anyone who's going to be an annual member with us is going to spend 3 weeks plus with me. I insist, because I can't prevent you from putting the plane into a building. I can't prevent you from having a negative outlier, but boy, I'm going to do my level best to point out all of the lessons we have learned and some of the steps that you need to take so that you don't. I think that's the responsible thing to do. And it's also why we do not sell individual programs. It would not be responsible for me to do that. So this little trading robot is doing a really nice job today. I don't know what it's going to do tomorrow. I'm not selling you that individual robot. No, nope. But if you want to become an annual member, you could get that robot, and you could get 70 others. But more valuable than that is the instruction on how to run it. So I'm not a pilot, but I love listening to the podcasts and all the instruction and the lessons around flying a plane, because it's very mechanical, and the mistakes that they make are very emotional mistakes, panic mistakes, and just mistakes. Right? We're not going to get every trade right. Not going to happen. So if you are flying a plane, I think you've got to be prepared for that time when one of those engines doesn't do what it's, when it doesn't turn on, or conks out. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? How are you going to put it down? Right? That sort of thing. Same thing with playing golf. Now, I like to equate it to golf because I like to play golf, but you want to have, if you're gonna hit the shot, you can visualize the shot. You're gonna plan to hit the shot, but if you miss, you want to miss small, right? We have amongst our midst of members, we have a professional golfer, and he talks about it: aim small, miss small. And we try to do the same thing. This particular program is meant to do that, but we're watching it very closely to make sure that we don't, get hit with a negative outlier. It shouldn't. The model tells us that we shouldn't, but I'm still got eyes on it, right? I'm still prepared. Make sense? I hope so. If you have any questions, let us know. A back test, and this is not, this is a trade analysis generated today, right? So, from midnight to today, that's what this is. This is not a back test, but we're comparing it to a back test. Most people misunderstand what a back test is all about and how and why you use a back test. If you are back testing strategies and you are, seeking perfection, trying to get that perfect equity curve, I think you're missing the boat, so to speak, when it comes to what the backtest is all about. A backtest is certainly important to get an idea about the robustness of a particular strategy or a particular approach. However, it is true, folks. It isn't a disclaimer. It isn't just a disclaimer. There's the old saying on Wall Street: what's happened in the past may or may not happen in the future. They're not saying it. A lot of people discount that and say, oh, that's just a disclaimer. And then they don't. No, it's true. It's true. So let's think about that. What's happened in the past may not happen in the future. Okay, well, let's ask the next question, right? I think you should be curious. I think you should be critical. I am. So I used to ask myself, well, I would say to Susan, well, Susan, if they tell me what's happened in the past may or may not happen in the future, then why do I need to know what happened in the past? Isn't that a fair question? It is a fair question. Why? And nobody could answer that question for me. But I learned to understand why the backtest is important. And I'm going to answer that for you, but I want you to think about it. Why? If what happens in the future, if what happened in the past may or may not indicate what happens in the future, then why is what happened in the past relevant at all? It is a model. It's a model. And what we do is we measure our performance against the model. Let's use golf as an example. If I go out and I hit 200 7-irons, what is my average distance? Probably about 150 yards. Don't laugh. We have a member that tickles the hell out of him. It's like, oh my God, Don hits a 7-iron 150 yards. What a hoot. I think he hits his sandwich that. He's a professional golfer. That's a model. Does it mean when I break out my 7-iron tomorrow, does it mean I'm going to hit the shot 150 yards? No, I may not. I may not. Crap. Right? Do I have wind in my face? Is it at my back? Am I on a downhill lie? Am I on a side hill lie? I got all these little nuanced, aggravating conditions that a golfer will grow to either enjoy or not enjoy. Now, if you're not a student of the game, then, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And that's okay if you don't have an interest. Just don't go out and try to play golf, right? Just go to the ice cream parlor and the driving range and shag balls around. There's nothing wrong with that. But just because you can hit the golf ball, 150 yards, 5 out of 10 times at the driving range doesn't mean that you can play golf. Just because this trading robot has generated for me 998.60 and a 1.60 doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to do that tomorrow or for you. And especially if you don't know how to make any adjustments and how to what to look for and what to interpret the conditions. And that's where we want to spend that time, because I want you to at least be aware of how important the lie is, the grip, the stance, where the sand traps are, where the troubles are. We have a gentleman, I almost said his name. I don't want to say his name. I want to keep his privacy. But we spent, he's in his, by the way, a great young fellow. He's going to do great. He generated his trades last week. I think he had, I don't have a scorecard right in front of me, but I think it was close to 30 trades last week, and had a profit factor of like 1.7 for the week. 1.68, I think, to be exact. And we were talking today about point and figure, and we spent quite a bit of time just explaining what we call some of the spuriousness, not slippage, but spuriousness in some of these charts. See, we want you to know where the how do I put it? Even on time charts, if you're doing a lot of back testing, some of the tools that you might be using might be generating spurious results, right? TradeStation also has something called a walk forward optimizer. Well, what the hell is that? Well, we can take a back test and we can plug it into the walk forward optimizer, and it randomizes and scrambles the data to give us an idea of the probability of profit going forward. Oh, that's pretty neat. Before we had something like that, we had to create spreadsheets and randomize the data itself, and it takes quite a bit of time. So it's a time saver. But you can work at this as hard or as easy as you want. You can believe what you want to believe. I'm not out to change anyone's belief systems at all. You can believe what you want to believe. I mean, you want to buy Tesla because he's coming out with a new truck, or he changed the Twitter symbol from a bird to an X. What the hell is that all about? But I guess whatever. I guess when you got billions of dollars, you got time on your hands. I don't think I would have been concerned with that. But that may be why I don't have billions. Maybe a method to his madness. But you can believe what you want to believe. But we will share with you our approach, and we're not out to impose our trading personality on you. No, everyone's got their own. The gentleman who's in the Q school is going to have his own, and that's good. And all of our members do. We just want you to make sure that you are comfortable, with the tools that we're using, and know how to use them, and know how to shape it and tailor it to your game, if that makes sense. This is your opportunity to ask us any questions, though. If you want me to plug in, see, we can, this tool is TradeStation. This tool is Swing Machine. And I lost my marker up here. If I click on this, you can see this is the Swing Machine up here. We can use this for trading stocks, therefore options and futures. And we can change the interval. So let me do that. Let's change the ES to a 60-minute. And the 60-minute went long 5 hours ago. 5 hours ago. The NQ on an hourly chart, 60 minutes, 64 hours ago. 64 hours ago, back on the 19th, it went short at 15,871 at 9 p.m. And yes, you'd be up $6,000. Now, the likelihood that a person who has no trading experience is going to put on a futures contract and still be in that trade is probably slim and none, because they're going to listen to what the pilots call their inner ear, their greed and fear, their inner ear. JFK Jr. did that one afternoon in July back a few years ago. He took off on a small airplane and he went to fly off the coast of Cape Cod. And he thought he had the skill set, how hard can this be, girls? And God forbid. And he took them out there and he got out off of Cape Cod in the haze of the summertime. If you've ever been up on the Cape, and we have, my wife Susan's from the Cape, and it gets a fog that rolls in, a haze, and you can't see the horizon. I get chills thinking about it. And you can't tell up from down, down from up. Traders can get that looking at a chart. I've sat beside traders and they can't tell up from down, down from up. Horrible position to be in, especially, when you have money on the line. But it'd be another thing when, when you got passengers in an airplane and you got a high performance airplane and, he was in trouble. What he should have done was put it back into autopilot and got himself the hell out of there. But here, now you might say, well, how in the world that went off at 9 p.m. on the 19th? Where the hell was I? I mean, you may not even know where you were on the 19th at 9 p.m. Was the market open? Yeah, the futures market was open. Well, then how the hell would I know? Do I have to sit here and watch this every hour, every minute, every tick to get that trade? No, you can come in here and we can enable an alert. Really? What will the alert do? Well, the alert can play a sound. So if you're in another part of the house, you want to hear it, you can do that. Or you can customize that alert and it can send a text message or an email. And if you're pretty good with email, you can arrange it so that the email will send you a text message. And from what I understand, I think we have members that it's going right through to their iWatch. So at 9 p.m. on the 19th, they would have got a buzz on their wrist like, oh, the NASDAQ is headed down. Oh, maybe I want to go do something. Have ample opportunity. Do that just a couple of times a year. If you want me to plug in a stock, I can. Let's just put in NVIDIA. So NVIDIA has been the big stock of the day, right? Let's do it here. Let's put in NVIDIA. NVDA. Now, we're not going to trade NVIDIA. We could, but I'm not going to trade NVIDIA on an hourly basis. Why? Well, 100 shares of NVIDIA is $40,000. I don't want to be, and we got all sorts of rules with that, like wash sale rules. That's using a tremendous amount of capital, for an intraday trade. Now, the profit and purse is calculated, but here with options or with futures. But I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change this. Bear with me here. I'm going to change this so that we can have this example with NVIDIA. I can come into the swing machine and I can edit this. And I'm going to change the input from futures. I'm going to make that false. And I'm going to make it stocks. And maybe dollars per trade. How about we put $50,000 per trade, 50 grand. So we're going to put $50,000 into NVIDIA. Put in any number you want, but so that we can calculate the purse. All right, so now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to change the time frame to a daily view. Okay, so Swing Machine would have given you a buy signal 133 days ago. That's it. It is timestamped. I get a kick out of the hockey captain on the Twitter sphere. He's always like, yeah, timestamp that. I'm gonna get it's here. I'll plug in anything. Swing Machine went long at $160 back at 4 p.m. on January 11th. If you had put 50 grand in, you'd have 89,000 right now. How about Tesla? I don't even know what Tesla is. Let's just go look. Tesla is dipping. It went long 43 days ago. I think I would have come out after earnings, but or even before earnings, I would have sold calls against it. It went long at 188 at 4 p.m. on May 22nd. if you put 50 grand in, you're up 20 grand. Maybe you used options. You got options? That was only 43 days ago. I will plug in any market, any stock you want. Now, Swing Machine doesn't get every single one right, but what it does do that you won't do is it has no ego. And when it's wrong, it's going to kick them out. Same, so does that make sense? It does not use moving averages. It does not use MACDs. Does not use RSI. It doesn't. Some of those things are okay. Most of them aren't. And I'm going to put this back in QU23. By the way, if you had done, this is crazy. 129 days ago, it was up a whole lot more than that, but it's still long. But we're going to put this back. We're going to choose this now. So this demonstrates why do we trade futures? They're highly liquid. The difference between the bid and the ask is extremely tight. They're extremely liquid. So that's good, right? If you're buying and selling something, selling and buying something, you want it to be liquid. You want there to be a market when you want to get out. Right? If you buy a rental property, and that's fine as an investment for the long term, that's something different. But if you're speculating, which is what we're speculators, you want a liquid market. You don't want to buy a rental property and turn around and want to sell it in 3 months and can't get out. At least I don't, right? Depending upon what you're trying to do, right? If it's a longer term, it's a longer term. There's nothing wrong with that. But here we want markets that are highly liquid so that we can get in and get out when we want to get in and get out. The second thing is we want access. What do you mean? Well, the stock market is only open from 9:30 to 4. The options market is really about 9:45. I mean, you got to let the market open, right? So, and you don't have much access. Futures markets open on Sunday night. And they're virtually 24/7. They close on Friday afternoons and they're down for about an hour a day. But for the most part, they're very active. I got to put the money back too, by the way. You're like, what happened to the money? We got to put this back to futures. So, but if you want me to plug in a stock, I can. So I come back up here. I'm going to change this input to, this is our code. We change it back to futures and turn off the, so Swing Machine, we can use Swing Machine intraday, but boy, what if you have an IRA account and you got like 50 stocks or 100 stocks that you want to keep track of? Well, maybe you don't want to watch them on a daily basis. Maybe you want to watch them on a weekly basis. If they go into a weekly downtrend, get the hell out of them. Because, why own them? Get them when they come back out. But I'm happy to plug in any market that you might want to see. Now, this little trader that we got on here is a high frequency trader, but it's looking for something very specific, and it isn't going to trade until it gets that specific. Now, I could open up a chart and start showing you this and showing you that. I mean, it's pointless. It's pointless to be doing that, day in and day out. Maybe a little bit, but not day in and day out. Make it crazy. So, any case, but that's where we are. That's a little bit about what we're doing. Any questions? You want us to plug in any market that you've been trading or any stocks that you have? I'm happy to do it as an acid test. I'm happy to answer any question. You get something around, trading, something you've heard, something, we'll there's a lot of old saws, old axioms on Wall Street. Some are true, some aren't, most aren't. They got you watching the wrong stuff. They don't want you watching the right stuff. There's a whole cottage industry around it, and nobody has more contempt for it than me. I am not from Wall Street. Nope, couldn't be further from it. What did I do? I taught surgeons how to do surgery for about 25 years. Far from this. Susan worked for IBM and for Lotus Software. Nobody has more contempt for these bastards than me. I think they're corrupt. I think it's rigged. I think all of that. Worse than, probably anybody. But it is what it is. So if it's rigged, let's stay on the side that's rigged. Well, let's not fight it. Let's not fight the tape. Let's not fight them. I'm not going to get angry over the Federal Reserve. Do I like what the Federal Reserve is doing? No. Do I like what, the politics? No, but it is what it is. It's got nothing to do with what I'm doing day in and day out. I just need to get a certain amount of money in and a certain amount of money out. If you are trading futures and you start on Sunday night, there are 24 trading days in a month. 24. If you want to work, 5.5 days a week and you extract $100 a day, that's how much money? $2,400 a month. If you extract 200, but let's take off Friday, right? We'll work on Sunday night, but let's take off Friday. So let's knock it down to 20. Keep the math simple. So $100 a day would be 2,000. 200, 4,000. 998. That works. That works. I haven't looked at a chart. I don't have CNBC in the office. I don't listen to any of that shit. I don't subscribe to anything else. I don't want to. I need to be able to move left and move right. I do not want any preconceived BS in my, I didn't go to Yale. I wasn't a hockey captain. If you know who that guy is, right? Quad this, quad that, big quad that, quad this, economics this, economics that. The market has nothing to do with the economy. The economy has nothing to do, really with the market. But if you want to believe that and you want to trade that, have at it. But we don't. Nope. That's a lot simpler. A lot simpler. It is what it is. The gentleman who's in the Q school right now, we require everyone. We have 2 levels of membership, a monthly membership, $100 a month. It's month to month. Don't like it, don't learn, you'll drop off. Rarely does anybody do that. So we're very comfortable with that. So that's why I don't need to say, join for 6 months or here's a special deal and join for a year. I don't have to worry about that. And I don't. Unlimited. Annual memberships, limited. We only issue a number of licenses every year. It's just Susan and I, we can only grow so fast. So we limit it. Last year, we cut it off at around November 1, and then we had to wait until January. Anyone who joins as an annual is a monthly member. Anyone who joins as an annual member must go through the Q school first. So if you join, we've had a couple of people do it, and I understand, just join as an annual member. I send them their money back. You may have even traded longer than me. We require everyone to go through for 3 weeks. We want to spend the 3 weeks with you, an hour or 2 a day, give you a chance to see these tools, give you a chance if you have TradeStation to work with them so that you make the best decision for you and you have an ample opportunity in a live environment to ask us about this or that or this, from options to futures to stocks, time charts, point and figure, Rinko, classic Rinko, custom Rinko, you name it. We want you to go through that once. If at the end of that Q school, we know that you won't look at the markets the same. We know that you'll have fun. And then at the end of that time, you'll have a really good idea. And if you want to become an annual member at that time, then we will give you 30% of your money back, 30% of it back, and you're welcome to join as an annual member. And you're off and running. Takes us about a week to send us all your programs. Do you have to have TradeStation during the Q school? No, but it helps. You'll learn faster, you'll learn more. There are on-demand videos, and you have a dedicated live Zoom feed. So a person who's in Q school, he's not watching on Zoom, he's not watching on YouTube, but he has something specific that we discussed for a couple of hours this morning, and he's getting a chance to see that. Plus, he's got some files that he's working with, and has a chance to begin to experiment and to see. There are a number of things that we can do. And we will spend a good 3 weeks with our new member and new friend. And that's kind of what we do. That's kind of what we're about. The next year, the cost goes down, and it never goes up. But the cost goes down, and we also give you an extra month free for every year you with us. So the idea is that we keep increasing the value and reducing your cost. And we come out with new programs all the time throughout the year. And if you have your own idea, your own concept, and you want us to program it as an annual member, we will do our level best to do it. As long as it's within our skill set, we'll back test it, forward test it, and make it available to you. And we do that at no cost. If you've been online, there are programmers and coders out there. They get anywhere from, $100 to $300 an hour, and a lot of them, they want a minimum of 4 hours of work. We do all our own coding. We've never sent anything out. Nothing. We do it all our own. Our website is homegrown. I've had some folks call me and tell me the website is shitty. Thanks a lot. I did. He's probably here now. I think he was a web designer. That's not the best way to go about getting business if that's what you're doing, but that's okay. He didn't like my website. Okay, I'm sorry. It's homegrown. And we're just, we're not out to get, thousands and thousands of members. Was never the plan at all. Susan and I set out to do this long before Stock Market Caddy was even a thought. So, but when you do it yourself, and we do encourage you, you don't have to be a programmer to be a mechanical robotic trader, but if you are, we don't dissuade you of it. And if you do want to do it, you will learn, and we will give you some tips. Now, we're not into code writing. We can get it done. But a professional, and we do have professional software folks who probably cringe, at my, code writing ability, but we get it there. We get done what we need to get done. So I hope I've answered some questions. If you have anything else, we'll let you watch. And this is, on Robot, right? So now we're taping this for our members. It's been on since midnight. Oops, I forgot to turn that thing back on. There it is. We got hours and hours of video. And what we will do is we will then compress, 18 hours of video robotic trading. We'll compress that down to a couple of minutes, and that's what gets uploaded to YouTube. So if you see those videos where the thing is flying real fast, and it's because we've sped up. The market doesn't move that fast. It doesn't. There are times when it does, but for the most part, it is what you're seeing right now. I think, one of the most popular videos we have is entitled High Frequency. And I think people get enamored with the name High Frequency, and we can control the frequency of our trading. All of the robots can. And we can make them fast, we can make them slow. Just like flying a plane. And there are times when you want the plane to go fast. There are times when you want the plane to go slow. There are times when you want the plane to make adjustments to the conditions, that it's flying in. And we can do that too. So sometimes we get these emails and they'll just simply say, hey, Bagger, I want to buy that high frequency bot. Well, you now know that we're not going to sell you the individual program. And it also tells me that a person, is probably not interested in learning the craft of flying the plane. They're not interested in learning the craft of playing golf. They're not interested in learning the craft of trading. They're just looking for something that doesn't exist. They're looking for something that is going to print them money where they don't have to do any learning. That doesn't exist. You, just like anything and everything in life, you have to exert energy to produce, right? And it just does, right? So you may watch, if you watch the British Open, it may look beautiful. Like, how hard can that be? I mean, look at the guy. He puts down a little golf ball. He's got, a guy carries his clubs. He swings the ball. He hits the ball. What's the big deal? but behind the scenes, that son of a bitch has put in, thousands of hours hitting golf balls, right? Thousands of hours. Now, you don't have to do that to be a good, profitable trader. It depends upon, what your goals and aspirations are. And that's one of the questions I like to ask, because if I think a person has unrealistic goals and aspirations, they're not real, then I probably won't take them on, because I don't want them to waste their time, and I don't want to waste mine. What are those unreal? I won't go there. I'll ask you. I need to speak with each person that goes into the Q school, because we need to at least, make sure from a scheduling standpoint, we're going to flex around your hours, but I want to make sure that it's nice, that it's compatible, and you're comfortable with me and I'm comfortable with you. And we want to, you got a job to do. You want to learn how, and we want to teach you how. And we want to make sure that, that we schedule these Q schools out weeks and months, and we will work around your schedule, right? It won't be all day, every day. You will be hopefully trading or having access to trade, as much as you can. But we'd like to spend on average about an hour to two, at most. This is about, it's about all you want to take of me. Sound okay? But if you got any other questions, let us know. And we're going to let you watch. We take a look at Swing Machine itself. Now, the robot, this is not trading. This isn't what we're trading today, but we could be. And if we had been trading, and we have members that most certainly are, let me just highlight some of the trades. So this ESU, let's put this back to a 5-minute. That's stuck on a 60-minute. So let's put that back to a 5. Oops, I made a mistake. Put that back to a 3. And we can put this back to a 5. Now we can trade multiple time frames, and multiple markets. We start getting into robotic, not just robotic trading, but robotic hedging. That's a whole different animal. But there's no jumping the shark, right? So the ESU went along at 9 o'clock at this price. That's it. That's the trade. If you took that trade and you're a member, you're up 725. If you took your $500, you took your $500, and you got to wait. The ESU went long right here at 145. She's been oscillating back and forth, and that's how much she's up on a 5-minute. The Dow right here at 9. The Russell. Gold is short from this morning. We'll put that one in red. Up. And then oil, that was this morning at 425. Early bird gets the worm. In this case, oil. Right there for one contract, almost $2,000. Swing Machine, we describe it also almost like a fish finder. You have an entire lake to go fishing in. You have an entire market. Where are you going to go? What are you trying to catch? Do you do any pre-planning? We do, right? Then you can set up your tools. Now, we do use charts. We can put this on a chart. We can automate this. We can, put it on multiple time frames. It is not automatic. It is not an I don't want to give anybody the impression that this is an ATM and that we've got the market cornered or anything of the sort. No, you can lose money, right? If you buy that Cessna airplane, JFK Jr., and you put some people in that plane, and you take that plane off, and you fly it where you shouldn't fly it, and beyond your skill set, you might get yourself killed. I'm sure he was told that. He did it anyways. So I can't tell anybody what their outcome will be. And I don't. And you could, I'm going to do my level best to make sure that you're aware of how, I don't want to say how dangerous, because the plane by itself that he was flying wasn't dangerous. But I think what he did was reckless. Right? I really do. I do. And maybe what that plastic surgeon did, was reckless. But so we don't want to be trading recklessly. And we have a what I call kind of a graduated trading method to help you learn to, build incrementally. There are all sorts of, we're back to the golf analogy. There are all sorts of golf swings, right? They look funny, but there's one thing they all have in common. That place where the club meets the ball, that club position needs to be in exactly the same position. They may get there in a different way, but they need to be in that right position. Because if it isn't, they're going to slice, they're going to hook, they're going to shank it. I don't even like saying the word, you want to shank it. So we need to get your tradings, and we can show you, we can give you the steps, but you're going to have to drill to get your trading in the right position. And you may have to drill on some things that you're not even thinking about. And we're going to make you aware of what those things are. You may be so focused on the price action and on that damn chart, and you may be doing some things that are really just hurting yourself. When a golfer, when he sprays the ball to the right, the proverbial slice, the new golfer, what does he do? He aims left. What happens? It goes further right. And then he starts trying to pull the ball to the left. And what happens? It goes further to the right. Oh. Sometimes it's a little counterintuitive. You need somebody to say, don't aim left. Don't swing the club left. You need to, aim a little more to the right and swing the club out to the right. And then suddenly the ball will start going probably a little more straight before it actually goes left. But same thing a little bit with trading these things. A lot of new traders put now this particular program has a pretty high winning percentage. But that's not always the case, right? And new traders put a tremendous value. I think they overvalue the importance or the relevance of a winning percentage. What is the winning percentage here? The winning percentage, bear with me, for today, where is it? Is 80%. There have been 35 trades by the machine, and it's won 80% of them. That's high. That's very high. Oh, my things changed. I got to clear them off. But this program is trying to do that. Other programs that we have that are very, very good. There was one that we're running the last couple of weeks, and its winning percentage is just 30 or 35%. Need to know that, and it can still do it. It can do very well. But if you don't know that, and you got a program, and you're trying to win 70, 80% of the time, and you don't let that program breathe, then it won't do well. You'll shank it. We'll be here. Any questions? I'm going to let you watch. If you're, by the way, we only thought we were going to go to like one, so it's already two, so we're not going to go too much longer. You're on delay, and if you're trying to just pick off trades on this and you're trying to make a determination or a judgment, you really miss the entire message and purpose of why we do this, so, but you're entitled to do what you want to do. But if you're out there looking for some one thing that is going to, just this one thing, this one tool, this one strategy, this one radar, this one indicator, this one anything to give you financial independence, I think that's an unreal expectation. And if you're looking for something that doesn't exist because of an unreal expectation, whatever that expectation is in life, you're going to be disappointed. Our monthly members see our algos every night, and they have dozens and dozens of opportunities that they can act on, filter with their own, and do just fine. And it's great value. Our annual members, they're seeking an education, some insights that they can learn to do a whole host of things. That's what we're about. It's a mentoring program. Otherwise, we would have a storefront, and you could buy that program, and that wouldn't be any good in our view. Hope that helps. Okay, there's trade number 36. We're on trade number 36. We have hit 80, or the machine has hit 80% winners. Pretty nice. And profit factor 1.6. This will be the last trade on YouTube. After this, we'll have to trend down YouTube. We need the resources, and hopefully we'll be up and over $1,000. If you have any questions, you're welcome to visit the site. You're welcome to email. You're welcome to call. And we want to thank you for stopping by. A lot of different ways to trade the markets. This is just one approach, one tool out of now more than 70 proprietary radars, strategies, robots, indicators, paint bars, show me studies, advanced bar types, point and figure, line break, Rinko, classic Rinko, just a whole ton of them. And radars, options, stocks. And this is now a guaranteed winning trade. It's guaranteed. The machine has complete control of this trade. I can tell you, I know what the parameters are, so I know that's a guaranteed winning trade. It may be small, it may be large, but we're not going to lose on that trade. And there it is. That was trade number 36. Let's generate the report. 1,076, perfect match. Profit factor 1.68. Let's look at this. Since midnight, there have been a total number of 37 trades, 37, 81% profitable. Our backtest said that 72 to 73% would be profitable. The backtest said that we should have a profit factor of about 1.3, 1.4. So we did better than that. And there you go. We look at the performance report. Well, you can't see it from there because it's crunched down. If there are no more questions, then I'm going to sign off. If there are any questions that we can answer, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. It's 2:30. I tell you what, we'll go until 3. We'll go to 3 p.m. Let everybody watch. Any questions, let us know, and enjoy. We are going to turn off, though, the strategy. We're going to turn that off. We're in the house. Now, it's pretty difficult to hit you in the market when you're not there very long. Let's just take a look. There were 37 trades. Let's see if we can get the percent of time in the market. Average time in trades, 11 minutes. That's pretty fast, right? Average time between trade, 27 minutes. We're in these trades less than 15 minutes total, but 11 minutes. It's pretty fast. Do we leave money on the table? Sure. But we also leave some risk on the table too. Could I physically trade since midnight to 2 every day, 35 to 40 times with a profit factor of 1.68 and do that manually? No, I couldn't. And I've done a lot of trading. That's not, no, no. I don't think I could do that. And I don't think I would even attempt to do that. It would not be a very, great life. Every single trade, every single trade was put in and taken off by a machine. Everything is going AI, right? Cars are being automated. Everything is automated. It just because the car is automated doesn't mean that you can't disengage it and drive it for a little bit or park it or do whatever. You can still do that. But if you're still reading candles, tracking moving averages, putting manual trades on, you're driving, that's horse and buggy stuff. Need to let go. Need to find a mentor. Need to, it's going to be a lot to learn. Going to have to overhaul your game, but you don't want to be playing with hickory sticks. Now, yes, we left quite a bit of money on the table if you're tracking swing machine, because on the 1 minute NQ, 14 minutes ago, it did in fact go short at 15,572.75. And yes, we have members that probably grabbed that trade for $500. There's no telling that trade may run up 2, 3,000, right? Now I say there is no telling. We can go in and look at the historical performance and get an idea of the average run up, the average run down, and all those models. So that can help us manage that. We don't have the time, in the capacity to show you that today, but we can. Do you have the skill set and the knowledge to know what to do with any of that is another question. Every new monthly member will get a free tour. As a monthly member, we reward you with a free tour. You just let us know when you join, when you have a full day. What we'll do is we'll meet you in the morning, give you a tour of many of our products that we use in our approach, and then we'll leave you on a Zoom link for the rest of the day, and you can get a chance to watch Swing Machine through Zoom live and ask a few questions and what have you. But we give everybody a 1 day hall pass as a thank you for joining as a monthly member. Again, annual members must go through a Q school, and that's a 3-week plus program. And you have to go through that to get the files, we won't release the files unless the person's gone through that. And again, it really doesn't take it's a lifetime's lifetime pursuit, but I'm not going to say that it takes you, 5, 10 years to do this. You'll be doing it the rest of your life. You put together 10, 20 days, 10 to 20 days, $500 a day, $1,000 a day here or there. Maybe you get a pot, no negative hours. We don't want any negative hours. And we do use mechanics to keep that from happening. But you're going to get some positive outliers. You're going to have a day where you make 2 grand, 3 grand, maybe even 4 grand on a given day. Covers up a lot of sins. You put together 10 to 20 trading sessions. The biggest concern we're going to have is, you becoming euphoric. You're gonna have a whole different mindset. But you need to stay disciplined, you need to stay in your game, have a pre-shot routine, stay within yourself. Don't start playing the course, don't start playing the crowd or anyone else. Don't start competing with anybody. You don't have to beat anybody in this, and you don't have to beat the market. It isn't about beating the market. It's about just extracting cash flow. You're not trying to beat anyone. People, the financial media, the Wall Streets they set up that straw man. They set that up. You can't beat the market. I'm not trying to beat it. If you are focusing day to day on every individual trade, it would be like trying to play golf and focusing on every individual shot. If you are snow skiing, it'd be like focusing on every individual turn. In the beginning, you do focus on every individual turn, right? You don't look at the bottom of the hill, but in time, your turning becomes natural and you begin to relax. You begin to enjoy your surrounds, right? The mountain itself and the snow and you know, the whole thing, right? Trading is supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be fun. But if you're grinding on every individual trade, you probably need to stop. Number one, need to think about what you've been doing, need to think about what you want to accomplish, and think about how you're going to get there. And see if you can find somebody. There's not a lot of people that do what we do. In fact, I'm hard pressed. You want to sit in a classroom with some of these firms? You can do that. They'll charge many multiples of what we do. You sit in a classroom with a bunch of yahoos. I won't mention the firm, but there was a firm when back years ago, and I wasn't sure if I was going to teach Susan or if I was going to pay to have it done. So she went and they're in every major city, and so she went and she watched, and I went afterwards, and I didn't let on that I was a trader. They were good for what they did. I will say that. I thought that they were. But the thoughts of leaving Susan in a classroom for a week and paying what they were going to charge, I didn't want to subject her to it. I wouldn't want to subject anybody to it. The rest of the crap that I see online is crap to me. Sorry. A lot of nice people and everything, but just is. We're in here day in and day out doing our thing, and our members are too. And they're taking our tools and they're expanding them, they're mixing and matching, and they are pushing the bounds. We have had members with profit factors in a week of 80 and higher. 80. So if you know what a profit factor is, if the person lost $100, he made 8 grand. If he lost 1,000, he made 80 grand. Profit factor. If you've never heard of it, if you've never kept score of it, if you've never tracked it, then you're just trading money and you're trading greed and fear, whether you want to admit it or not. You may not be aware of it, and you will lose. They got it. You will. They bank on it. It's Madison Avenue and Wall Street. They got that figured out, and they gotcha. We don't focus on the money. We got a note from one of our members, a very nice gentleman. It's in the service actually, and he said, "Don, I had a profit factor last week of 1.4." Now, I don't know. I'm assuming he was probably doing it robotically, and that may seem narrow, and it is a bit narrow, but he still made close to $1,000. Well, still profitable. Of course, if it's over three, it feels effortless. If you've ever played golf and you've hit a golf ball and like, oh wow, that was flush. Didn't even, you just feel the compression of the ball and the ball, boom, explodes off the club like a bullet, lands softly. Beautiful thing. When you get a profit factor of 20, 30, 50, 80 for a week, but we have to be real. You're not going to do that. A person's probably not going to do it every week, unless you're a savant. Maybe you are, but you might do it a few times, right? That's, when this person did it, he said, Don, I think I'm going to take a couple of months off. I'm like, okay, I think that sounds like a good idea. Nothing wrong with that. We don't believe you should be in here day in, day out, all day, every day, grinding out hundreds of trades. Not a good idea. Not good. It's supposed to be fun. So we're pushing 3 o'clock. I want to thank you for coming by on YouTube. We'll try to do this periodically. Monthly members get to see a video view at night. Annual members get all of our tools and they get a Zoom link. They don't get a YouTube link. They get a Zoom link and they're able to see what we're working on and they know where to reach us. But for the most part, they're doing their own thing because they got, this very same tools we have. They got everything we have and they got the knowledge and the support to understand how to use the tools. And it, there's more here, more available than one could probably possibly use in a year. I mean, it's just a lot here. And you only need a handful, if that, and just repeat it. So I hope you had a good day. I hope you're getting it done. And when we finish, when it's all said and done, that's what we did. The profit factor is 1.68. This is not a back test. This is what the machine did. We had a total of 37 trades, 18 longs, 19 shorts, 81% profitable. The model said we should do about 72 or 73%. The model said we should do about 1.4. So we did better than the model. That's good. That's a very good thing. Trade analysis. We wanted to get an idea how many trades. So average time in trade, 11 minutes. So once the trade went in, we weren't in the trade more than 11 minutes. I did not put any of them on. I didn't take any of them off. The average time between trades, 27. And there you go. So we're going to have to say goodbye. It's 3 o'clock straight up. Have a great rest of the day, rest of the week if we don't see you. If we do, I hope so. And you're always welcome to call 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 813-758-8263. You're welcome to call. I would just ask, and I would just hope that you would visit the website because I think a lot of your questions might be answered there. And, you don't want to, you want to maximize your own time and mine, please. We got to be respectful of each other's time. But if you still have questions and or you want to start getting scheduled, the Q School we schedule out and we do have a limited number. If you go into Q School, you're guaranteed a spot. If you want to have an annual license when you're done, you'll get one. But if it's later in the year and we've hit our number of licenses, you would have to wait until January. So I just want everyone to know that. They're available now, but we've got a lot of folks that have expressed interest, and in the fall it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a great trading year. It's already been a great year. It's only going to get better. The volatility is going to be off the charts. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Have fun, everyone.